That's not meant to be on. Why was it so short? Okay. I don't even know if we're actually live or not right now. Solomon! I see we've got some people in the chat already. I'm just assuming I'm live. So, hi. Normally Solomon activates the thing, but it's all good. If you are live, okay, thank you. Oh damn. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us for our fourth Magma Clubhouse stream. We are supposed to have some rules and guidelines for the canvas brought in from our last one, but I see we've somehow missed that. But just know we want to try and keep things orderly over here on the canvas. So no sort of no safe for work kind of content. We want to keep things safe and family friendly. Yeah, there's Solomon. He probably doesn't realize that we're live right now. Hey.
You lose focus in this game for 1 second. I must not have had the countdown on loop. Well, that explains it.
Yeah, all good. I was just mentioning that we're going to keep things to safe for work. I can't remember what other kind of rules we had in place.
Yeah, let's get into it. Hey, everyone. So I'm going to drop in very quickly inside of the chat just to go over this real quick. We have a few rules here for this stream. One of them, most importantly, last week, as much as we will love to get into these things, we don't want to do anything that's AI focused. We do have some Magma folks that are in the Magma beta that were dropping in AI images last week, which were very cool and interesting. But this particular stream is about focusing on just core drawing and hanging out. And so go through and just take a look at the rules. We've got a few things. Of course, no safe for work content is not allowed. Just be sure to be respectful of other people's space in the canvas. And we will also be managing the layers and things like that. So if you have issues with layers, let us know. We do have a few admin controls set up to the canvas. So if it's blocking you in any way, just ping us in the chat and we can try to adjust those things when we can. Well, how's everybody doing? What's going on, Ryan?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Been an interesting week. Kind of in transit again. So we arrived in Bangkok, Thailand on the weekend, just here for a week before we fly through to Tbilisi, Georgia, and then we're going to be settled for a little while, going through from some hot, humid weather here to cold winter, almost freezing temperatures in Tbilisi.
Speaking of cold and freezing, I woke up today. I'm in Texas, and it rained, and then it froze overnight, so it's like Narnia out here. Like my trees are all hanging down and touching the ground, and a whole tree branch just broke behind my office. I have a window that looks into my backyard, and like a massive tree branch just collapsed and shattered.
Oh, wow.
It's really wild.
Is that normal for you getting those sort of
I'm new to Texas. Like I'm from Michigan, and then I was in California for a long time, and I just moved here a couple of years ago. And from what I've heard, it's not like this is pretty new to Texas. The last 2 years have been pretty crazy.
Interesting stuff. Wow, we've got a few people on the canvas already. Nice, some familiar faces. Captain Fang, we call that face. Bendy as well. I remember from last time. Yeah. And Mangui, man. Mangui? Yeah. So nice. That's cool. It's nice to have some people joining us again.
I love to see new faces and old faces, which to us are just profile images.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have an idea for what you're going to be drawing?
I was kind of like, I wanted to do like a cool kind of landscape. Like I was looking at Mount Fuji. I was trying to figure out how to do more with these letters. I was thinking like an A is kind of like a mountain, like a little mountain peak. So I was thinking about doing a Mount Fuji type thing.
Okay, that'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I haven't got an idea yet. Let me show you. What's on the old Pure F board? My go-to when I don't know what to draw is usually a stupid self-portrait. So I might do that. Although I came across a cool picture of another artist's dog, mixed in with a few goblin pictures. I think maybe I'll draw that fella. Get started.
That sounds cool. You were talking about goblins last week. You were mentioning, I don't know, it was like a lot of people were drawing goblins lately.
I don't know. There was some sort of thing around goblin mode, and people just not caring about appearance. It's our state following 2 years of lockdowns and COVID. Everyone's now just whatever. This is me, and lurking around the house.
We're all becoming goblins. I guess that totally checks out.
Sounds about right.
Definitely feel that.
Got Evan here. Stream looking good on Twitch. That's nice to hear. Cool.
What's up, Evan?
Yeah, I forgot about old Twitch. I haven't been on Twitch in ages. Oh, and there's a goblin. There's a goblin. I see one.
Yeah.
I've got one as my profile picture, actually.
I was just going to comment on that. I was looking. I was like, who's goblin? I was like, oh, that's you.
I drew a little bit. Maybe I'll do that again. Something like that. Have you been listening to any interesting streams or interviews recently? You mentioned your interest in history stuff.
Yeah.
Going back a while, have you come across anything interesting in the last week?
The last week, I've kind of been on this ancient Rome kick for a while. I actually read a couple books, different authors on Caesar, and I just finished one of those not too long ago. And I bumped these two books together at the same time, the history of Rome. So I've been picking apart the history of Rome collectively. Obviously that ties into Caesar, but it's kind of more generalized. So that's kind of been my biggest focus. I've been really kind of stuck in that time period. There's the whole Celtic generation in era, which clashes with Roman history, and I've been stuck in that stuff for a little bit, which has been really awesome. I think it's, I don't know. I find great comparisons to modern day. I like digging into where democracy begins and these things. That's where my weird brain goes. I don't know where I developed this, but I can't get enough.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is it particularly about that era that's got you so hooked?
No,
yeah,
it's like
the foundations of democracy.
I think it's always about like what aspects in history have had the most impact on how things have gotten to where they are. So it's like all the key milestones I end up wanting to learn more about, to understand them more and think about. So I just end up, and sometimes they just pop up. Honestly, something will happen and I'll see something like, oh, I'm going to dig into this. And this all started like I was watching a lot of films on Roman history, or rather just the history of, Greek history as well. That's kind of where it started. And then it translated into Roman history. And I've just been on that for like the last 6 months.
Okay, interesting. I see someone's writing readable on here.
What'd you say?
Figure out I see someone was mentioning readable with a question mark. I'm just wondering what the keep the letters readable. I think let's go nuts over these letters. We've got some like strong coloring on there, so I don't think you need to erase it all. I think with some bold colors we can still keep some focus on Magma and then draw some stuff around it.
Yeah, that's good. I should have locked that layer, but go for it. Let's wing it on this one.
Okay, let's get back.
Just rename that layer, but feel free to take it over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just seeing some with the painting over. Wait, hey now, don't go fill in that entire layer.
It's funny. It continues to happen. It's like we kind of just got to get used to that one, right?
Yep. It happens to me when I'm alone on the canvas too. So. Okay, let's need my layer. And nice little Pac-Man in the G there.
That's classic.
No. Yeah, I haven't done any like landscape drawing either. With your mention of Mount Fuji, it's a pretty cool idea. It's kind of stuck. I don't know why it is, but I'm just kind of stuck away from landscapes. Maybe I'm just intimidated by the scope of it and getting the depth right.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you whip up some pretty awesome landscape stuff just from doodling.
Yeah, I've done some like little cave things, but it's very small and contained. Okay, let's see where am I going to do this. Whoops. Put a little music on my side.
Got you.
Let's see. Do you happen to have any royalty-free music?
Can you hear this in the
I
stream?
hear you. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear it.
We're going to get some more.
So I see Skojo's asking about how to enter and draw. Do we have a link posted for the?
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Here, let's start with this. Dropping in this invitation you should see in the chat. This is access to the Magma Art Space. If you aren't here already, you'll need to be there first. Let me know once you're in there.
Okay, let's make a mark. See what's going on here. I know what the problem is. I'm not wearing my drawing glove, and I can't be a real artist. I just find they are actually pretty useful when you're in these warm and humid climates, and the hand just gets a bit sweaty sticking on the surface.
So crucial.
Yeah.
Once you guys are in with that link, you should be able to find us in it. If I go, I'll just quickly go back in the stream if you're watching. Going here into Magma Clubhouse. We're currently in Canvas 4. And actually, this is a good point to maybe bring something up too. We mentioned this before. I don't know how many of you guys use this, but the slides themselves down here at the bottom, these can actually be hidden. Let's give ourselves a little bit more visibility. I think. Canvas a little bigger too. Skojo, let me know if you have any issues getting in.
As a fellow Texan, warmth and humidity are a memory to me right now. Fading memory. Maybe I shouldn't draw so big again.
Yeah, Mungie man, I'm just catching up on your chat. I guess we must be close. I mean, the area in I'm in Austin, and it rains here a lot. So the rarity is that it gets cold enough for it to freeze. And it just happens to have been happening a lot the last couple of years, from what I understand. And it's been pretty wild. But no snow, just frozen trees. Everything's frozen. But yeah, okay. It makes sense. We are close then. I think this is, I don't know. I imagine in Texas, I mean, obviously it gets cold here, but because it gets so rainy here in Austin, that's where you get this craziness.
I do enjoy that cold weather from time to time. I think for me, when we left South Africa and went to Armenia and Georgia, it was like I knew I could feel it in my bones because we had gone from like hot South African summer, end of January, into smack in the middle of the winter in Armenia, and I could just feel it in my bones. I'm not in South Africa anymore. Like, this is cold. This is not what I'm used to at all. It was quite a refreshing feeling. But I'm sure the novelty fades pretty quickly if you're going to go through if you have these longer winters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything in moderation, right? I moved from Michigan. Part of it is just like, I mean, growing up in endless, like the winter season. It's so nice when it's holidays, when you got break and you're spending time with family or friends or whatever. But as soon as the holiday time passes, it's just 2 more months of just gray and awfulness. You know, it's so dull.
I'm digging this Pac-Man thing going on here in the G. Oh,
He's the ghost. I dig it.
Who's this person? Wins. Nice to see you joining us on the stream. Following the Wayne's Corner artworks for a little while. Really cool seeing those studies.
Yeah, already coming in hot with the awesomeness.
Yeah. That's gonna be angled. Whoa, angry dog.
Same color.
Do you know any other languages, Solomon?
No. I mean, I studied German in high school, which is silly. And I mean, not silly. It just wasn't really practical. It's like, why am I learning German? I wanted to learn something that was very different. I should have learned Spanish. And but I did pick up some Spanish. You and I've talked about this. I did a 2-month backpacking trip through South America, and I spent a year before that picking up Spanish and doing all that. But you know how it goes. It's like when you get there, and it's like what you learn from a book just doesn't translate.
Oh no. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those. I think it's such a good exercise to keep the brain fresh, trying to figure out a whole new language.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty difficult.
I did spend a lot of time trying to pick up, other programming languages. I know some
Yeah?
Python, some basic different things that I found different applications for just in creative pursuits, which is kind of the same thing. It really does. It exercises the brain in the same ways, which is awesome. But, application wise, it's slightly different.
Limited. Yeah. Well, not limited, just specific.
Right.
I remember really enjoying programming when I was in high school. We did kind of very basic drag and drop kind of stuff. We were using Delphi. So the actual language and coding part was, I think, fairly straight. At least what we were doing was fairly straightforward. There's probably a whole lot more one could do, but there's a lot of sort of drag and drop of elements, which saved a lot of time. I suppose easier for us at that age and that level.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's just the problem solving of it, and getting those runtime errors. Like, what the hell is going on? Trying to figure out those problems. It was really stimulating. Just getting all those late nights. Quite excited to work on some projects. Funny enough, with that.
Yeah, it is really fun. That's when you can get into that flow state when you're focusing on something like that. There's few things that bring out my creativity more. It's like that's just the way to. It's with everything, language and art. It's all the same.
Yeah. This is quite wide. Why is this so dark?
Poetry is one of your favorite art forms. That's amazing. Yeah, the exercise of writing, particularly creative writing, absolutely the same. Never get into poetry, but I do write a lot. I tend to I have just things that it's like this need to get information out of my brain, and my phone notepads are nuts. They're so disorganized and crazy, but it feels good when I get it out.
Yeah, for sure. I've always liked the idea of getting into a decent writing habit, but it just, doing these things like morning pages and things like that. Even with drawing, I'm not so good with that. Just wake up first thing, get into it. But I can see how it's such a valuable exercise. Like just while you're waiting for the kettle to boil with your coffee or whatever, to just write whatever comes to mind, whatever you're feeling, or ideas or dreams, or do you have a bit of a routine with it that we specifically dedicate time, or is it kind of in the moment?
It's in the moment. I haven't learned how to properly set aside the time for it because I've this obsession or need to do too many other things. But I do, like, in moments from like I gotta put this down. If I have an idea, usually it's around an idea for something, or if I have a thought, I have to like fully put it out. And I have like a stack of notepads that I will chicken scratch, just write stuff in there. But mostly it's just like creative ideas. Like I have something that I want to do and I have to put it down, and just so I know that I took the initiative to do that. Whether or not I do it or not is a whole nother story.
Yeah, I suppose it's just good to at least get it out before it passes. You can go back to it if you want to.
Yeah.
Often those things will just sit like lying around in that book for for months or even even years, and then suddenly, let me flip through this whole thing. There's something fun to play with. When you have ideas for things, do you tend to keep them to yourself until you get some actions down on it before telling anyone or discussing it with someone else, or do you bounce ideas off with someone in quite the early stages of an idea?
Yeah, I have some friends that I have one friend in particular that I'm thinking of that is a guy I went to college with, and we studied together. We studied film and animation, and he's really into. I mean, he actually writes stories for his own. So and he's an artist, so he wants to create imagery around the stories. And if I get into conversations with those friends, we'll just have like a hangout, be on Discord or whatever, and just talking about stuff and just throw ideas around and talk about stories, share them, and it's always great. But then once you get the story down, for him and for me, it's really the goal is to have something great that you can tell a story around for your art, and that's the hard part. Is like both him and I have different jobs, right? It's like we're working in software development for me. He's working in lighting and shading and rendering for physical products, and just happens to have all these skill sets. I feel like the burden with being an artist that has a lot of skills is like you may pick up a job doing something, and this person wants to write a story full time and like make artwork around it and make that his job. But that takes that's a big leap. It's a big leap.
Yeah. I suppose we're often like having those ideas where our current skill set also doesn't quite line up with what it is we want to realize. Or there's quite like a gap. So there's always something new to be learned, sometimes in a way off discipline or a completely different field. Even if it's just something like starting up, making a business of your art, and then having to learn all those components of running a business, which often don't get taught sufficiently to you. Or suddenly you realize, this would look way better as like a relief sculpture, and you have no idea how to approach it. Now I go from 2D stuff into 3D. That's fun. That's awesome.
It is, but I think it makes, as artists, it makes us a little crazy,
and easy to spread ourselves quite thin. I think when there are all those ideas like that span multiple disciplines.
Yeah, and I think that's where the craziness comes from. It's like I could have tried to do so many different things. I mean, in order to achieve all of the creative goals I have, whether it's good or not, I think it's subjective, but to get it all out, I would probably just not have time to literally do anything,
Yeah, no, the reason I was asking about the ideas and discussing it with someone, because sometimes I wonder about this. I can't remember where I've seen it mentioned a few times, this thing of talking about your ideas too early, and how it kind of takes a bit of wind out of the sails for an idea if you discuss it with someone and you both get really excited about it, but you're getting the excitement, the feedback from someone else about the idea without anything being actioned yet, and you're kind of getting that good feeling before actually doing any like of the tangible work on it.
That's such a good point. Like on that topic of talking to people about it, when I get in with friends or this particular person I was talking about it, I end up, it's like you have a window, at least for me, it's been this way. It's like I have a window where if you spend too much time on something, you lose your steam. The idea or the thing, it's like, unless you're Guillermo del Toro working on Chronos and you're trying to do it for 10 or 15 years and you keep coming back to it, if it's just a creative project, like you kind of need to, it's like whether or not somebody agrees with the quality of your story or your thing or whatever is kind of irrelevant. If you want to do it, it's probably better to just get in there and do it, to not lose that creative juice. But to your point, it's like if you're trying to really perfect it and you really want to make sure that you got something good, it's like, you gotta maybe get it to a point where you're really confident about it, share it with somebody if you get some great feedback, then you want to go into it, because I only end up
Yeah.
having a couple weeks to really like keep coming back to something and enjoying it, and then it becomes like another thing. You know, it gets harder to love it. It's like I think about TV showrunners and video game creators, people that get attached to, you know, it's like I keep bringing up The Last of Us because it's been on HBO Max, and but that's such a, I mean, the amount of time Neil Druckmann and some of the other people put into, of course, there's plenty of people that are contributing to this, but you know, putting it into this game and like obsessing over making it perfect and all of that, it's got to be one of the biggest creative challenges out there, you know, to keep working on something and having passion for it.
And keeping the visions coherent across all the different departments and people that are working on it. I think it's quite an interesting part of big productions like that.
Totally. That's such a great point.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's where hopefully Magma helps, keeping everything in one place.
It does, though. Nice. Angel V. I like the M. That's looking awesome.
Yeah. Going into the tunnel there. Oh, which one are we looking at? Is that the one with Spider-Man on top?
No, I haven't even. I'm zoomed in over here. Oh, Spider-Man.
Oh, they're next to you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, the page and everything. That's cool.
I'm trying to do a better job of filling in, putting some paint down and filling in the space around me.
Yeah. Can I put on this thing's head? I haven't been checking if there's any comments. No, everything's good. Hi, Jess.
Hey.
Hi.
Just gonna say that every time. Oh. Yeah, sabotage. We're gonna have a super cut of all the sabotage moments from this year. Every stream, every week. No worries at all.
Yeah.
Friday night funk and sabotage.
This is where that quick Control Z comes in handy.
Yeah.
Normally don't encourage using it. Try and avoid it myself. But there, that's when you need it.
Mm-hmm. Since we jumped into this stream, I gotta jump out of here for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm all alone. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see, everyone's here. What am I going to add to the head of this guy? Seeing some awesome candles on this goblin with a shovel. Nice. Sorry if like my head's really low on camera. I've got a kind of a strange setup going here where my tablet is small and quite low in front of me while I'm sitting on the couch. My camera's quite high. Perks of, or the, I don't know, perk, but a challenge of traveling and arting is that space is always changing. I think I've mentioned this already in past stream. Oh, Mark. Sorry, we don't speak Portuguese. If only I could. Right now, I'm trying to learn a little bit of Japanese on the side, doing the old Duolingo, which is quite fun. Just a sort of gamified approach to language learning. It's pretty cool. because I have big dreams of going to Japan sometime in the next couple of years. So I at least have a little bit of language under the belt. My current streak, I think I'm on 70. No, I'm not at 75 days. I can't check my phones during the recording now. Don't fail Duolingo lessons. Yeah. Yeah. Those Duolingo videos are pretty funny. It's so annoying if you don't turn off Duolingo's notifications. You just get harassed by this flipping green owl all the time.
Oh yeah, I was having that problem for quite a long time. It was good, but it definitely gets frustrating and annoying. It's also just a reminder. It's like, yeah, you're not doing enough.
Yeah, just laying the guilt on real thick.
Yeah, it's like, I know.
372, is that your streak? Damn. That's a solid streak. Sometimes my days just like run away with me, and then I realize I haven't done a lesson or two for the day. And yeah, I'm eating through a lot of gems at the moment just to buy streak freezers. Like, no, I have to keep this thing. But that persistence with all those notifications, like it does make a difference. I found, like, since turning off the notification, most of the notifications, like I definitely am just like, I'll get to it later. And then later, it's past midnight, still on the same day for me, but Duolingo's like, nope, sorry, say goodbye to your streak.
I mean, I'm far past notification fatigue. Like,
for sure.
Used to make fun of like do not disturb mode and it's like all these things, and then eventually you kind of get to a point where it's like, if I don't do that, I start to go crazy. I'm just like, man, I'm just reminded of all the things I'm not doing. Like, what about the things that I am doing, you know?
Yeah, you don't get any notifications giving you credit for that. Like,
Yeah,
good job staying focused today.
Where's the reward system, you know?
Have you seen these what do they call them, like anti-procrastination cafes or something in Japan, where you go in there with a set kind of task or outcome for your time at the cafe, and you give it to the manager, bartender, or whoever's there, and they will check up on you, but you set like a sort of level of monitoring from the staff. And if you want like a hardcore mode, like someone will come and check on you very frequently and lean over you, like to make sure that you're actually working and not just scrolling on TikTok or something.
Wow.
That's quite an interesting idea.
It's easy to look at that and go, that's ridiculous and crazy, but I mean, that's literally an example, like their response to solving that issue. It's like, I kind of love that.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd do so well in a cafe like that. I think I'd get beaten. Normally I don't like to use the eraser, but because I'm on a white background, I'm going to use it. Personal fails. We're always getting some Among Us characters visiting us in the stream. Oh, there I see Duo. Duo's making an appearance in the canvas.
I gotta take a look.
Starting, the shape is there.
Love it. Nice work, everyone. This is looking awesome.
Yeah. Couple more people joining. Nice. Yeah, it can happen when there starts to get a lot of people on the canvas, that you could get a bit of lag. It's kind of unavoidable.
We are using a bigger canvas, high resolution canvas, so that is something that you gotta be careful of. Close some other browsers, if you got them open, anything to reduce the impact.
The memory drain. Are you also terrible with tab management in your browser?
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. I got this great desktop that I built. I've had for it's coming up to 2 years old now, which is fine, but it's PC, PC build, and it's great. But I've noticed that because I run and Google is a pretty highly intensive sucker, I've noticed that my disk is spinning a little bit more these days, and I've got my work browser, which has got like 20 or 30 tabs, and I've got my personal tab, and then I've got some other ones that
yes.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Out of control. Your desktop has 3 folders on it? Are all your folders named, those 3 folders? Because I have a tendency to have an untitled or unsorted folder 1, 2, and 3 on my desktop. It's not good.
Oh wow, you're going rogue out there. No names.
It's so bad. Just shift all the things. I'll just save it to the desktop. Okay, cool. And then months go by. Like, okay, I'm just gonna put these in a folder. I'll deal with them later. And obviously, I end up with a new computer. This time, I'm gonna be better with it. Be way neater about file management. No, chaos. Give me chaos. Now, why is my brush behaving differently suddenly? Then you go looking to see what's taking up so much space on your system. It's a wretched unsorted folder. The second one. Do I still need this stuff? I'll get to it later.
Right. I know. I have practiced. I've gotten a lot better at it over the years, but being able to purge just massive amounts of stuff from like, I don't need it. Not necessary,
It's very difficult.
Just to sculpt and make a lot of 3D characters, I would say version by version. I found that by doing a single character or an environment or whatever, I'd usually end up averaging about 50 version files. I'd start with version 1, get to about version 50, and then my process would always be to go back when I'm done and keep one, like every 10 versions. So like 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I've got like different stages if I want to go back and, pick it up at a different stage or whatever.
And did you manage to keep to that?
I did.
Successfully?
Nice. The only reason I did is because I just got sick and tired of I have like 2 terabyte drives times 10. I've got all these terabyte drives, and I'm just like, I got these backups of these things, and I've got a lot of stuff that I've stored over the years, like reference and just things that I want to keep, and so I've we had to go through, and I've like cleaned out most of those drives, but a few of them still need some work.
Hmm. Ah, Bob the Stickman. Let's see. Nice. There's some really cool goblins here. Those bells. Yeah, I still need to sit down with The Last of Us, give it a watch. Kind of putting it off at the moment. I've got a long list of things that I need to see. I think I mentioned last time that I still haven't watched The Mandalorian, so I need to go do that.
Oh yeah.
A few of the other Marvel things on Disney Plus that I haven't got to. So, and Legend of Vox Machina. Yeah. it is definitely intentional, inflicted.
It's nice to go through and binge them at once, like just get it all out. You know, you don't have to sit like. I struggle with wanting to like being good at waiting. You know, it's like, oh, I get one episode.
Yeah. Were you also into Dragon Ball back in the day?
Yeah.
Did you also have it released once a week?
What's that?
Did you also have it released once a week?
With Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get into that until recently. I watched a lot of it when I was a kid, and I never caught up with, Dragon Ball Z Kai and then all this series that came out after, and then they went back and kind of like nullified GT. That didn't really count. So I just went through and watched everything last year, and it was awesome because it was just always on. I just had it on all the time, and there was so much to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you watching sub versions or the sort of Japanese with subtitles?
I like the subbed versions of those. It's actually I like the sub versions. To me, are actually really good. I think they did a great job, but others I think are better with just dubbed.
I really enjoyed Naruto, and I heard the dub of that. I couldn't. My ears just I couldn't handle it. I was so used to the original voices that when I heard those, my brain hurt.
Yeah,
I remember with the, sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say I get that. Like some you want the original like narrative, the like with Dragon Ball Z, it's not like a show of a lot of substance, like it's pretty just action packed and like massive power ups, and I like some of that stuff. It definitely is entertaining, and I've found like the subbed versions actually have some really great comedy in Super. Like some of the more recent seasons, like Goku has actually gotten funnier, and they did I don't know, Goku. There's like a whole thing with him that I kind of dug into and was reading about on him just being a bad father and like a bad husband in all the old series, because he would just be like, "All right, peace. I'm taking off for like 5 years. Good luck. See you guys later." And there's like no role model aspect to the character, and a lot of people argue that that's who Goku is, but they did a better job of kind of like giving him stuff for it and him having to like be aware of it and try to be better, which was kind of cool. So
interesting. I hadn't thought of that element at all.
Yeah,
that's great. I think I stopped watching. I think the last I saw was GT, but that was all dubbed. But I did see a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z that was just subbed. Wow, this is different from what I remember from the dub version. So I would love to go back to those, but just so much powering up.
So much.
Always the joke, I suppose.
It really is, man. It really is. And then it becomes like I've even gotten into like pretty deep into the Korra conversations of like people just going like, well, like how did Goku defeat so and so? Because like after doing all these things, there's all these like people are doing like mathematical equations to like calculate the multipliers of power-ups, and I'm like, whoa, that's what I love. I love when you bring in mathematics and like some like somewhat of like a measurement. I think that if it can be consistent and measured, it's way more entertaining for me than it is if it's just like, oh, he just did it because of he won because of the plot, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, that's true. I was wondering like how they'd get those sort of reference points to then like establish like, well, who's actually stronger. And
right.
I mean, I suppose it happens a lot even with characters in various universes with Marvel and DC and all that as well. I'm like, I don't know how you guys determine all this. I'm just gonna watch and go, cool.
The truth is it's very obviously figured out as it goes, as the people get involved in like ask questions like, well, this doesn't make sense, and they will correct it and they'll go back and like try to explain that. I saw Monkey's comment, it's like, could they be Goku though?
Could they?
But it is always that. It's like Goku's originally he initially always won. They've presented in Super now. He's facing off against people who are actually more powerful than he is, and he's not winning all the time, or he wins by technicality, or maybe he has lost in some cases, which is kind of a nice change of pace.
It just adds a lot more depth to a character when there is that risk.
Right. You need that.
Yeah.
Bendiel 183 is saying, look at the corner.
Is there a little pixel conversation going again?
We got the Brazil flag up there. I love it.
Nice. Going all the way in.
Yeah, nice work, everyone. These are looking awesome. Oh, someone stopped you from doing pixel chat again? Why? Monkey Man's like, no more pixel chat. We're not doing that this week.
So funny.
Nice weather we're having. Are we that boring that we're bringing up the weather now? Nice. We did start the conversation on weather, but
we did.
It was anecdotal. Yeah, Mungie, I feel you. It's like being sick when you just. I mean, it's nice when it's like when the weather's rough and crazy out there, but sometimes it's all you can talk about because it's so crazy.
What sort of music do you tend to listen to when you're working?
It's a good question.
I think it's kind of a freaking question that people are asking, but it's always interesting because I find like I kind of stick to a lot of the same music. So it's interesting just to hear what other people are listening to when they're trying to get in the zone.
My ultimate goal too. I mean, having spent 10 years in visual effects in the film industry, I got really obsessed with film scores. Like before Spotify and everything really kind of blew up and everything was in an open database. I used to go to Amoeba Records in LA with a couple coworkers. We'd go every Friday, and you could buy. They were selling CDs back then, like for like $1, and you could buy. We bought. I think by the time after 10 years, we probably had thousands of scores, like all the best film scores, soundtracks. I mean, soundtracks to animes and to movies and to video games. Pretty much anything that's a score. Like classical music that's not lyrical. I end up. It gets my creative juices going. Like that stuff is great. And And I like a lot of hip hop, and lo-fi is, I think, just always lo-fi to me is like another version of film scores. It has the same feel with a different vibe, you know, the same result with a different vibe.
Yeah, lo-fi has become really just so popular with everybody. But I mean, I think a lot of artists as well.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it to a small. I enjoyed like a patch of time with it, but it never quite
Never stuck.
I don't like songs with lyrics unless they're heavily altered to the point where they can't be understood. Yeah, when you're drawing, lyrics can be so distracting. I find that only for particular kinds of work is it helpful to have stuff with song lyrics, or maybe like to start off just to like get me all amped up and ready to go. I'm like, okay, we're gonna tackle this canvas now. This is something quite like upbeat, and then like try and direct it into something that's a bit more focused, or helps me be more focused.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, lyrics are distracting.
Yeah. It's darker. Darken the eye, darken the left eye.
Dude, it's how are the mushrooms digging?
I think, yeah, when you saw Wenz's goblin with the candles, like, oh, I want to add some mushrooms to mine.
Mushrooms so hot right now. Fungus.
That Spider-Man's super dope.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
That was one of my favorite books that I got as a kid, and I've passed it on to a mate of mine to give to his son. It was an annual or something like that. I can't remember the dates for it, but it had the main story was about Spider-Man versus Electro, and in the middle there was a thing of like, oh, how to draw Spider-Man. They're gonna show it in sort of standing pose with all the proportions and everything, and then there's another side with him posed. I used to trace that so much as a child. It's one of my early sort of I suppose the start of some of my interest with comics. With that.
Yeah. I knew that's why we get along. You see, you can always tell. It's like, what was your favorite? Spider-Man was the thing. It was like, I didn't care about any Marvel character outside of Spider-Man. That was just the only thing that I cared about. And
yeah,
definitely I have old notebooks from, middle school and high school just full of Spider-Man drawings.
I still find him to be like one of the most relatable characters. I always get so into it.
Really is.
I was watching the extended version of No Way Home on Netflix the other day, where it had Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield joining in with Tom Holland. Still a lot of fun.
Yeah, Wenz
Quite a
agrees.
fascinating.
Spider-Man is the best. Yeah, and I love all the films. Like I do have some nits to pick on. Like I really don't like the lack of continuity with the Sony Spider-Man films. Like it's been rebranded multiple times. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I loved Amazing Spider-Man personally. I thought it was really
Same.
compelling, particularly Amazing Spider-Man 2 with the score to that was amazing. I thought some of the visual effects were incredible. The story was like really emotional.
Yeah.
With a massive, spoiler alert. If anybody hasn't seen it, I feel like we all, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to give you crap for it because
It's hard. It's hard.
yeah, what's going on? How did you not see it? But yeah, it's just so great. But then I love the continuity additions with Tom Holland, and Tom Holland is a really great personality for the character. But each one to me has value. Like I'm not like one or bust,
Yeah, for sure. I'm the same. And of course, Into the Spider-Verse was just a mind-blowing experience to watch. I need to get a hold of like an art of. I don't know. Did they do a director's cut or something? I mean, that's maybe asking a bit much, but a kind of an artist edition where they have a release with a lot more of the art side of that and how they did that. Do you know?
Oh, just some like visual effects breakdowns. There are some good ones. You can actually YouTube some. They did have. I think the ones that I've seen on YouTube are pulled from probably a Blu-ray thing or some exclusive thing.
Okay.
There are some incredible ones, and you're seeing there's tons of other studios now that are trying to make content like that in the same style. And I'll be honest, some things I won't name, but I was like, man, it's like there was a specific value to Into the Spider-Verse as to why it was so cool. It was authentic and real. Just copying the style is not what makes it good. It's the whole picture. It's everything. It's the music. It's the characters. It's the randomness to it.
Yeah, they're playing around with the frame rates. I remember seeing a snippet about the frame rates.
Yep, that's a big one.
Miles is learning. That was amazing. I just loved how they worked that kind of technical thing into the story of how he's developing up. It's just, you guys are amazing. Just amazing. Imagine working on a project like that. It's just be so cool. Like what the team must feel like after release. What they accomplished.
That's an apex mountain for an achievement. That's just.
There's a time to maybe switch careers. That's probably it. Like if that's quite a high peak that you reach with something like that. It's like, okay, cool. While I'm ahead, let's maybe like dive into something else.
Right. Right. It's so true.
I wouldn't accidentally paint over anyone's. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I was super amped for the second release. It's gonna be.
Yeah, really cool. The trailer is really compelling. I'm usually, if I'm excited, I'm anti-trailer, but I needed to see a preview of it. It was like, this looks really great. I saw Wes, or Among You was commenting, Puss in Boots 2 had Spider-Verse animation.
Oh, really?
Case in point. Well, I don't want to. Puss in Boots 2 there's an audience for that. I'm just not.
I haven't seen either of them. I haven't seen the first one, but I remember Nathan Fox's work. I absolutely love. He worked on Puss in Boots. I must go watch it. I mean, I think it's just rude that I haven't. It's an artist like that I admire so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely want to dive into some of his courses on Schoolism soon. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I feel like I still need to hone like a few other skills, but I suppose one's never. You just got to dive in. You just got to jump in that deep end.
Yeah, right.
Go for it. Figure it out. Learn more through the struggle.
Yeah, did you find anything that you wanted to do yet? Anything standing out?
I haven't been looking, to be honest, of late. Like, it's just been too crazy of a week. I'm hoping that there's a lot of those too.
Yeah. My thing lately has been just having to spin too many plates over the years. I've learned that I can't. It's kind of like we were talking about when you commit to your idea and you're sharing it with people. It's like I know I want to do it, but I'm not going to put too much thought into it until I see a window of opportunity where there's going to be time to go in and do it, and then I'm going to jump on it and start right away. Because if I
Yeah.
talk about it for too long, I'm gonna end up just being like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah, you start giving yourself grief for not having gotten into it, and then you're just not
Yep.
motivated.
Exactly.
Now I'm hoping once we get to Georgia, I can settle down. We've got a place that's got a bit more space. I'll have my own little office library space, where I can set up everything and leave it for a decent time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Got lots of video ideas, and then obviously need to do some learning focus.
Creative tools. Sorry, I'm just catching that last one. Mungie, you said you tore the page. Is that a joke? Or?
Off to the right.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm gonna put that in the code of conduct.
No page
tearing
tearing.
the canvas. Dude, Wen's looking incredible. That's nice.
Oh, so good. Those moles. What? Amazing.
But if you guys out there, you guys work professionally, you're doing this stuff just in your own time.
That is
Curious to know what
good.
everybody's into.
Remind me again, you said, was it a brother or a cousin or something that did art school with you, that, or has always been doing art with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a cousin of mine, we were both, when we were kids, we would, this is back when drawing was my life and sketching. It's so crazy how much of that is like left my system, but we would, I mean, that was everything for 10, 15 years. And then we both got into film and animation together. So we both got into the industry, games and film, very similarly at the same time. And definitely, it's great. It was like we were able to help each other out. And, you know, when you get into the pro world, it's like who you know definitely does matter, especially at the beginning, like referrals and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you need people on the team that you know you can work with and can trust. So it makes sense that sort of who you know approach is quite prevalent.
Yeah.
Have you guys worked on projects together?
We have.
Professional projects?
Well, definitely. We have in certain respects, particularly in this kind of stuff, like doing. He actually heads up now the ZBrush side of things. So he's, as I was a developer at ZBrush, him and I built a team of people that essentially kind of talking with the community and doing live streams. And he manages ZBrushLive.com and has been the pretty largest contributor to doing this kind of live stream format, which is, you know, something that I see as incredibly valuable just in general. It's not always about what you do from a professional standpoint. It's also just about the culture. You know, there's a culture around art, which I love. And so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Wen's just doing it in your own time. That's impressive. Got to get you out in the studio somewhere.
I've been really bad with the, Discord gets so busy with things, and I think I am on the Wayne's Corner Discord, but I haven't joined any of the study sessions or the study sessions.
Yeah,
I remember these guys were doing quite a regular session together. Very cool. Instagram's obviously not showing me the stuff I actually want to see from that page. We're showing me adverts instead, and Labrador videos. Okay, I guess it knows one thing I like. My little downtime thing. Scroll through dog videos at the end of the day. Makes me feel good.
Yeah,
Saturdays. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I must definitely pull in for that.
All right, Mark, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers, Mark. Let's get rid of these black lines.
Two tears in the page.
Jeez. Delinquency. One thing I'm looking forward to with going back to Georgia as well with the winter is that there won't be any mosquitoes getting chowed over, do enjoy me.
You guys have been dealing with mosquito problems, huh?
Yeah, this particular place has been a little bit bad. Yeah, the first night we got here, couldn't sleep at all. So one pesky bugger. But they got a type of mosquito here that's I'm quite a hunter for these things, and I won't go to sleep until I find these buggers so that I don't get disturbed. But here that they're small and they're lighter. They look lighter, so I'm struggling to see them flying around and landing on the walls. So I just have to suffer.
That's such a sad. So you just have to.
My lot in life. It's just, what am I going to do?
As Mungie just mentioned in Texas, like we only get them in the summer here, but when I mean, growing up in Michigan, Texas is a lot similar in terms of like humidity, at least in Austin, but mosquitoes were just crazy in Michigan. That's something I can't really tolerate these days. It's brutal.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a fan in this apartment. We've got two aircons, but it can't just be on fan mode. It has to be up. It's pretty much aircon or no aircon, and it's directed right at me on the bed. So it's not ideal at night. So yeah. Just go buy a cheap fan or something to direct at me. These little USB fans. Shame my poor wife has to deal with me been raging and hunting mosquitoes down till late at night, putting the light on while just trying to sleep, just trying to find these things.
Things got you getting out of bed, going after them.
Oh yeah. I go to war. So.
That's amazing. Because it very much is war. It's like, yeah, I get that.
And these ones are so stealthy. Ow.
I'm a tree populator. That's what I need.
Nice landscape for that building there. Damn. Flare. Very cool. Strong.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Great perspective. All right, Maggie. We'll see you when you come back. Not bad. And it's 5 p.m. Okay. We splatter's not bad. Yeah, I think, well, Ryan, you're going to be relocating to a different time zone here soon, so we might be able to try out some different times.
Yeah, I'm actually meaning to look at that.
Dang, Flair's 2 a.m. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, wow. Come on.
You later.
And there's mosquitoes or low flies too. It's always the feet.
Oh yeah, ankles, yeah, feet.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Anyway, enough of my moaning. I was looking at time. Yeah, I think we'll have to do some rotating of times so we can accommodate different audiences at different times of the month.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let's see.
Yeah, we're almost out of time. We're already past our hour mark.
Really? Whoa.
Yep.
Okay.
I think this one's going to need to be, if we can make it work, I'd like to be doing this more regularly.
Remember, for a time, Cynics was doing almost a daily stream. I think I've turned off my Twitch notifications. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he would do just a daily warm up, just getting started with the day. Draw some shapes, draw a landscape, draw a thing, just hang out, talk. Don't see why we couldn't do something similar.
Yeah, we are on the path.
Yeah,
We've started this is the first baby step, but there's so much more to do. Heyo.
It's like jumping in a cold pool, just like shock to the system with like bright saturated color.
All right. You should not emerge that layer.
Looking at my reference, that's the problem.
Yeah, no worries, Bendy. We're just tallying up the numbers of sabotage. It's gonna be a kill count at the end of every week, every month.
Mm. Alright, Ow.
Let's see what's going on with the canvas. I'm getting locked in here.
Oh, the spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah, that Spider-Man is nice. Well, great texturing. Oh, that's awesome.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, I haven't checked out that top left corner. That's looking really awesome.
Who be that?
We got Bob. Nice. Ori, I love the nice. It's like you're building some atmosphere over there that's connecting to. Is it Helado? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Helado, that's awesome. These characters on the bottom left, I dig those. That's really awesome.
Have you played Among Us at all?
No, I haven't. I know of it, but haven't yet.
No,
Have
me
you?
neither. No. Somehow just never got to it.
Yeah. Yeah, Wens, that's amazing. That's gorgeous. Angel, nice. Is that a pug? Oh, that's looking awesome.
So cool. Big goggles.
Blair's got some really impressive, it's like a tint to it. Really nice.
There's nature taking over a bit there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great piece. That's a good one. You just pulled that one out of the brain?
No. I'm following a I'm following a photo.
Mushroom.
It's
nice touch.
The artist's name is Adrian Smith. It's his dog. Just thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, nice. I see what's going on. Ori is it's like the page is burnt. That's really cool.
Aha. I'm just glad to see Duo getting what he's got coming there.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with how quickly after 4 streams we're getting some really great. I mean, those of you that keep coming back is awesome. I feel like this is what we need, and to get more folks in here. The real dream is I want to have multiple canvases going at the same time. We can start bringing enough people in here. We can figure out a way to organize teams maybe a little bit better, or just have it be random. You can jump into whatever canvas you want, and we can look at, then I'm thinking like we could have some contests and do some really fun stuff like
draw-offs. Yeah,
like the 90-minute challenge. I love. It's such a great idea to put some incentive behind getting something done and getting cohesive. I like the randomness of this, where we all get to draw what we like and what we're interested in. And I'd love to keep that, but then do another one where we can do, Ryan, you and I have talked about this, but like we pick a color, like a color theme, you know, there's a specific theme, underwater, jungle, you know, whatever, pick an environment or something.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think last time we were mentioning this thing about limits or just like parameters with drawing, and just how beneficial that is.
Right.
Just to go in with an idea, or like, just know to fit within something. But obviously then it's super cool when you've got a bunch of people drawing on the canvas, and then there's this cohesive idea.
30 minutes. Yeah. Monkey Man's throwing out some harsh headlines there.
Hush now.
Whoa. Hold on.
Is your daddy a clockmaker? Shh.
That's great.
I need more saturation.
Nah, you're good. We like the chatter.
Renji.
Wens, we'll be sad to see you go. Thanks for the awesome contribution, and hope to see you next time.
Nice. Yeah, and hopefully join the Wens Corner drawing jam studying sometime soon. Definitely want to get in on that. This Saturday I can't because we're flying, but I'm super keen. I think I've mentioned a couple of times that I spent a lot of time just drawing on my own. So these streams have actually been so refreshing for me. Because I use Magma a lot of the time, but it's usually just me on the canvas. I like drawing solo, and but when you've got other people on there with you, you kind of forced to stay somewhat focused. Which is quite helpful.
Yeah, for sure. I know. It's like I need to do more time in my own canvas. This is jumping into these streams is the first time I've actually spent time drawing in quite a while.
Do you have sort of like live drawing sessions or something in Austin? Something that happens regularly? Gathering of artists?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm always talking about it, but since I moved here from LA, that was something that I had like my places to go to. I was doing life drawings, like, just you have a model in a room, and like they have a Blix is an art store. They actually would do like drawing sessions. They had like a whole studio, and you could sign up for those. I would do those, maybe like once a month, probably on average. And since I moved, I haven't really been in that explorative mindset yet. I think that's something that I'm kind of building up to,
Yeah.
But it's absolutely needed. I gotta break out of this comfort zone and get into some new stuff.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I saw on the Lightbox Discord that they were going to be doing a regular group study session as well. as a new thing, a more
Nice.
official sort of gathering. It's always good.
This is Bobby Chew and their crew.
I don't know if Bobby's involved with this one. I think they've got like a team of moderators and people helping manage the Discord there. So I think it's just about providing something in between Lightbox events to keep everyone together and engaged, learning together. Because there's a massive community on there now. I mean, it was massive right from the beginning, I'd say.
Yeah, true, but totally, and actually still growing.
Yeah. Too much lag. Yeah, if you have any other browser tabs open, if you can close them, that'll maybe help a bit. I noticed now when I've opened up another browser window, things slow down quite a bit. Get some there.
I have to say, this lo-fi track that they offer for this stream service is not bad.
Yeah, it's chill doing it.
It's on loop, but it doesn't bother me.
No. To bring out that light. I saw him.
The page burn is killing it. I love it.
Woo. I did Ori do the matchstick on the? I think it was on our first. Well, it looked like a match. It was like one of the letters was burning. A was burning.
I don't remember. I have to go back and look at the old canvases. I like the constant theme, though, if that's true.
Yeah. Ah! Hey! Bendy. It's always you. Always the culprit.
What is that? I guess that's just like I guess that happens when you're trying to drop the paint bucket in, but you don't have something selected, so it.
Yeah. It can happen. We're just gonna have to put Bendy's layer at the bottom, underneath everything, so it doesn't paint over everybody else. You're going
Bendy,
to
we
the
won't.
back of the class.
Down about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to come back to this. It's so slow. It's definitely saturated. Yeah, someone Monkey's asking about the music, where this is coming from.
Oh, I didn't see that. We are using StreamYard for these, and StreamYard comes with a whole bunch of stock music that you can play, and this is the only lo-fi track they have.
Ah. I suppose the shadows would be cooler. No, it would be. Okay, let's go cooler.
I was gonna say I saw something there. It was really fast for me.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Yep, good call up.
Let's try a different brush. Does the Cintiq you have, does it have multi-touch on it?
The one I'm using now doesn't. I'm on a, it's kind of crazy. I'm on a really old Cintiq. This is like the 21 UX. This thing is like 15 years old. It's still kicking.
Oh yeah, of course it's. I was trying to remember which model it was. Yeah, I was drawing on Magma for a chunk of the. Drawing on Magma, drawing on the iPad for a chunk of the day, but now I switched over to display tablets, XP Pen, but it doesn't have the touch gestures, of course. So I keep tapping at my screen, trying to pinch to zoom, do all the things quickly. It's taking me a while to like click back.
Yep. You know how I feel about that stuff. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't even brave it. Like, nope, I will not. It limits me because of that.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
Gives me an excuse to not draw when I'm in other places or remote. Like, no, well, I gotta be home.
See, Ori was saying goodbye. Cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Ori. Thanks for the awesome contribution. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
For more fire.
don't know if I'm saying it right. Gatterson. I love the transition. You're like blending them together. That's really cool.
Wow.
I didn't see your comment. Gatterson is an illustrator. Nice. Yeah, that's cool to see. Yeah, it's got out 9 minutes left, y'all. Starting to realize I'm gonna need to be able to get a couple of contributions in here. Check out Flair's piece with this Kirby car.
That is
Amazing.
I dig it.
I do
I dig
too.
it.
You got something going on over there.
Yeah, I really like that Mount Fuji thing. You got that sort of Japanese wood print type of piece.
Yeah, thanks. I was struggling for a while. I was like, how do I get, because we blocked out, well, you and I have the ability to paste in images, but I wanted to get this like paper texture thing, and I didn't want to cheat. I was trying to figure out how to like texturize it forever.
Tricky thing to do.
Yeah, but back to the Cintiq, I was thinking I have a 22 HD that has multi-touch and a bunch of stuff that it's been busted for a little bit, and I want to get it fixed. I might just buy a new one.
Have you looked at a quote for what it would cost to fix it? It's
Yeah, I
probably
did.
quite high.
It is. It's like it's gonna be probably $1,000. It was like a power supply issue. Yeah, so everything was fine. It couldn't get power to it.
Okay.
Oh,
Ah,
are the microwave going?
no. I turned off the air conditioning.
Yeah. Okay. Got 1 minute left. 60-second countdown. Technically speaking, we've got all week. I'm gonna drop a reminder and bug everybody in Discord to come back to this one. I'm wanting to do a little bit more for this canvas before next week for sure.
Definitely.
Quick run here. I don't know if it's Janu or Yanu. This piece is looking great. We got fantasy going on the left. I love it. Yash, your canvas isn't loading. Is it a performance thing or try to give it a couple of refreshes? Stuck at 90%. Yeah, give it a second. All you can really do in that situation is make sure there's no tabs, nothing else running. Bendy's got the whole character family going on in here. I love it. Pug is great. Nice reflection. That's cool. Reflection in the glasses.
Oh, nice. Catching some of that.
I didn't see whose piece is down here in the bottom right, but that was coming together really nicely.
Yeah, that started off. That was quite early on, but I didn't see who was working on it.
Oh, nice! You got the moss growing and the fungus is spreading.
Yeah, I've been working with like I think my opacity is being so low, and don't have enough like sort of hard edges in here, so I need to fix that.
Yeah, that's coming together. That's gonna be a great one.
Fine shapes.
Palado's got the nice. I love the collaboration going on here with the piece below and the cone. This looks like a, I don't know, kind of pixie or elf.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Yeah, Blair, that's a really sick piece. I love that. I am so jealous. Such precision. Like you got so much shading and information going on in there in such a small space. Well, we're a couple minutes past, folks, but we should probably jump out of here. Thank you all for such an amazing contribution. Thanks, Ryan. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, thank you, Solomon. Always fun. Looking forward to next week.
Yep, next week for sure. Tell your friends, bring everybody. Let's get the whole crew. I think we're going to have to throw a massive party once we have 50 people in here. That's going to be a massive milestone for us.
Yeah, for sure. Opening up
All right,
that
folks.
second canvas will be like, yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's number 2. Cheers, everybody. We'll be dropping you guys in Discord some reminders as hopefully we can come back, keep working on your pieces. I'm going to definitely jump back in here, and thank you all. Appreciate it. Monkey Man, stay warm, and see you guys next week.
Ciao, everyone.
Cheers.